Test, test. Good evening. I'll call the meeting of the East Providence City Council, February 17th, 2026 to order. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll of the council?
Councilman Fogarty? Yeah. Councilman Lawson?
Here.
Council Vice President Rigo?
Yeah.
Councilwoman Souza?
Councilwoman will not be here tonight. She is not feeling well.
Council President Rodrick?
Here, the records show there is a quorum present. Please rise for the pledge. Thank you all. Firstly, we can remain seated, but if we could just have a moment of silence for the tragedy that occurred yesterday at our neighboring city of Pawtucket at the Lynch Arena with the incident involving loss of life. Thank you all. Madam Clerk, could you please begin the agenda?
Executive session. The City Council of East Providence may meet in executive session pursuant to the Rhode Island General Laws 42-46-5A2, claims and litigation. Natalie, do you want me to read them or you want?
No, we'll report out afterwards. I think that this will be brief, but we do need to go into.
Mr. President, I move.
Sure, we can hold off a little bit. We can do the license. Sure. Okay, so let's hold off a couple of minutes on that.
We need to make a motion to move the licenses up at this time.
Motion by Council Vice President Rigo to move the licenses at this point. Seconded by Councilman Lawson. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. So, Madam Clerk, if you could go to the licenses at this time.
Licenses for discussion and possible vote. A motion to bundle non-public hearing licenses B1 through B3. Special event, one-day road race, May 2nd, 2026, 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. Type of license, new business tattoo shop, 1445 Wampanoag Trail, East Providence. And a renewal for seafood market victualling at 204 Willett Avenue.
Make a motion to bundle B1 through 3.
Motion by Councilman Lawson, seconded by Councilman Fogarty. The bundle items under letter B, 1 to 3. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Is there a
Motion to approve B1 through 3.
Motion now to approve the bundled items by Councilman Lawson, seconded by Councilman Fogarty. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have that. By the way, that road race will be at Pierce Stadium. Okay. So those licensees that are here, you're all set. Thank you. I will entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Mr. President, under Rhode Island General Laws 42-46-5A2, I move into executive session.
Motion by Council Vice President, seconded by Councilman Fogarty. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. We'll recess to executive session. This should be very brief. to reconvene.
Make a motion?
Motion by Councilman Lawson, seconded by Councilman Fogarty. That includes seal the minutes of
Yep.
the session. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Madam Clerk, we continue.
Consent calendar, regular meeting minutes, February 3rd, 2026.
It's your pleasure.
Make a motion to accept?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Lawson to accept consent calendar, seconded by Councilman Fogarty. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Next item.
There's no public comment. The one person who signed up was Caesar, and he's gone. So the next thing is appointments. Appointment of Robert Baptista III to the City Council Crescent Park Carousel Commission, 3-year term, effective February 17, 2026 to February 16, 2029.
I'm going to make a motion to approve, but I got a question because I reached out to the carousel manager. Did this come through the website? Because neither one of us were aware. It came from you? Well, I'm fine. We're approving it. I just didn't know if the process.
Yeah, he
Okay.
turned it off. He filled out an application online, and then President Broderick sent me a text message that he was going to be appointed.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Just wanted to fill that in because me and Tracy didn't know, but I'd make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilman Lawson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Council Vice President Rego. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Next item.
Council members, number 1, statement on former Oldham building, Councilman Lawson.
So why don't I do 1 and 4 as just one statement?
Sure.
I've been nonstop people reaching out to me. There is a lot of things happening down in Riverside. Start with Oldham. Oldham was given, the property was turned over from the school department, and the plan that came out from this administration was use it for incubator space, for job training stuff, community use, and then for, maybe art studios, or we could house like history museums and stuff. Somehow this got twisted into 8 apartment buildings and losing the property, completely against what the people of Riverside have been asking for. And I know there's some proponents that we got to build housing everywhere. We are building housing in the city of East Providence. This is not being NIMBY. This is fighting to retain the character and charm of the city of East Providence. We are growing, and we're doing some things very well, but we don't need to build on every blade of grass. The Oldham project, we put opera money in, and the administration refused to spend the full amount. They used the word game. Oh, it only said up to. It didn't say we had to. So we put the roof on. They kept saying, oh, it's going to cost millions to put a roof. It cost $600,000. So people are upset there. We just had the planning department approve, and I guess I didn't realize we lost this much power from the state level, that planning departments can now override when the city council said we don't think it's appropriate to have a commercial development on Wampanoag Trail. After a week ago, the administration had the bike plan, and they said Wampanoag Trail should be reclassified to make it safer. And then a week later, we're approving drive-through fast food restaurants, and people don't want to see Wampanoag Trail turn into Route 6. Okay, it's a pass-through from 195 down into the East Bay. It's a greenway. There's nothing wrong with maintaining some greenery in the city of East Providence. That doesn't seem to be what's happening. A lot of frustration, and now we're hearing word. Nothing's official, but I just want to come out in front. February 26th, they're having a meeting to discuss the disposition of, if you ask me and Bob, it's Meadowcrest School, but it's currently called Oldham. And there was some discussion on closing, which would leave Riverside with 1 elementary school. That school, Waddington, currently houses 530 kids. Every other school, elementary school, is around 220, 230. I don't believe that busing half the Riverside kids to Silver Spring is good practice. I think there's so much value in keeping a kid in their neighborhood school as much as possible. I'm going to keep fighting, and if the building needs some work, let's do it. That's our job. Let's find the resources to keep it a school, alleviate the crowd. And I know everybody wants to send numbers. Oh, people ain't having kids. But yet, Waddington's bursting at the seams. The high school is over the projected. Okay, so national trends may say people aren't having kids, but when you spend $300 million on new school buildings, people are going to want to bring their kids there. So we're not at the heyday where we needed double sessions in the 70s, 80s. No, and we'll probably never get there. But to say we can do without 2 elementary schools in Riverside, I just don't think it's right and appropriate. And I hope that Thursday's meeting, it's February 26th at Martin, I believe. I don't have it in front of me. Martin? Oh, Riverside. I'm sorry. Riverside Middle School. I'm encouraging everybody to come out and speak up. I've been hearing everybody. They're frustrated. They're upset. And it's just, they just feel like Riverside is under assault with all the housing development. And they're just asking, let's take a breath. Let's, we still got Wampanoag, Metacomic is going to be developed. There's 600 and something housing units. East Point's being built out. There's going to be another few hundred more units. The census said the city was at 48,000 people. We probably added a couple thousand housing units since then. So we're probably more at 50. I had asked the question, how big of a city do we want to grow into? We got to consider traffic, sewers, schools. There's so much to consider that. We can't just keep rubber stamping every development that comes through. So I'm speaking on behalf of the folks of Riverside and East Providence, because I'm hearing from a lot of people that, yes, we're developing. And yes, there's we haven't even touched the waterfront yet. We still got Newport Ave, Capianados. They're building up there. A lot going on. And these people are feeling they're not being heard by the administration, that things are just being shoved at them, like 8 apartment buildings at Oldham. This is where we gather for the parades, and it's always been part of that community. So that's my statement. I'm going to still keep pushing on, but on behalf of the people of Riverside and East Providence, I do think it's appropriate that we sometimes catch our breath. And this isn't being NIMBY because we're building. I voted for stuff. The stuff across the street, I voted to allocate East Providence fund, and it's been sitting empty for 2 years. That's another story. So that is my statement on behalf of what's going on in Riverside, what people are feeling, what they're telling me. And I just hope somebody listens to the voters and the residents who pay taxes. And that's it. I just had to make that statement. So,
Yep. Thank you.
thank you for the time.
Thank you, Councilman. I think just briefly with regarding Oldham, and there is confusion because the school department calls both buildings Oldham, but Oldham at Crescent Park.
Correct.
Correct. Let's see what the recommendation is. We're waiting for it, and then we can get serious
Absolutely.
with what we see about it. Just quickly, I wouldn't see 8 apartment buildings going there, but let's.
Oh, that's
wait.
what they proposed at
Right.
the former Oldham on Bullocks Point.
On Bullock's Point, right? That's
I'm sorry.
that might be a bit much. So let's see what the report says regarding the property on Bott Drive, which is the old Meadowcrest School, which is by the school department's naming. It's called Oldham, which made sense when the Crescent Park Oldham closed. They moved the entire building, staff, student body to Meadowcrest, and they kept the name Oldham for identification. I think the time has come to switch the name back now. And that meeting is sponsored by the school department, as you know, superintendent and the school committee. So just so there's no confusion, that is not a city council hearing or meeting.
Correct.
I plan on being there, and I'm hoping, as you said, that remains as it is now, at least for a while, until we see how many seats we need in Riverside, and that would take up the the slack, I'm sure. So, you know, we'll, as many of us as can go, we'll be at that school department
I
meeting.
do have Veterans Advisory is meeting that night, so I'm going to try to get there after our meeting.
Sure.
And
And we'll hear about it anyway.
Oh, absolutely,
It's more
absolutely.
for the community to come out.
I just felt
parents
it was important to state that we got to look out for kids, and closing schools and busing them around to save a few bucks in the long run, does it really benefit anything?
It's an
And I
important
get it.
issue.
Yeah, so,
Yep. No, thank you. Madam Clerk, the next item.
Number 2.
Request for update on Crescent Park Building Project. Councilman Lawson.
So, Andre, hopefully you have an answer. December 4th or 5th, you guys brought forth the resolution asking us to authorize the mayor to enter a contract to begin building the event tent and the office space. I happened to ask Mike last week a question, and I said, oh, by the way, the contract been signed, and I'm surprised to hear it hasn't been. So can you give the public an explanation of why it's been 2 months, the contract's not signed yet? Thank you.
Good evening, Councilman Lawson, members of the City Council. For the record, Andre Herrera, Director of Policy and Constituent Services. I spoke to Director Borges. Right now, value engineering is underway, and the architects are finalizing the plans and getting the final costs. We submitted the resolution so that we have the flexibility to make sure that this is permitted as quickly as possible, so we reduce any delays. And we've spoken to the contractor, and right now we're still looking at spring construction time, weather permitting.
So where I'm getting confused is what cost are you adjusting? You came to us with a dollar amount. Shouldn't that work have taken place before you came to us?
So what we're hoping for is that, and right now we're kind of talking to the contractor, and New England Construction has basically, we've been speaking with them, and hopefully we can get the cost down a little bit. So maybe we can add something else like some lighting or something other.
But this is another, I apologize, Andre. I'm really trying to temper. This project's been delayed for years. We finally get the contract approved by the council, and now it's delayed again because you want to save a couple bucks in it.
Councilman, it's the middle of winter. It's not delayed. We're still looking for the spring to start construction.
They have to put it on their schedule. And until they got a signed contract, they're not going to pass up other work.
We've entered an agreement. We're just finalizing the pricing, and hopefully that should be done within the next month.
And what are you looking to add? You said you want to get the cost down
It
to
really
add some.
depends. We might be able to have some wiggle room if it comes under the projected amount. So, but that remains to be seen.
Right, but wiggle room for what? What is it you're trying to add?
It could be some lighting.
What do you mean could be? You don't have a plan?
We have plans, and the director has told me that if the pricing comes in a little lower, maybe we can add something else. Maybe not. I'm not 100% sure, but that's where we are. We're just waiting for
came
the
to us
final
with a
plan.
fixed dollar amount, and then you're still negotiating.
So if I can interject, why don't we just stick to the original plan, and if there's money left over, then we can look into other things.
Exactly. Yeah. So
But let's sign the
That'll be helpful.
contract for the original plan, and then if there's money left and we want to add lights, if we want to add some, if we don't have money left, we don't have to worry about adding anything else. So let's try to expedite the contract so we can be comfortable that when spring comes, who knows how long this snow is going to stay in the ground. There's already a forecast of some more coming.
yeah, the whole point of passing the resolution before was to make sure that we can move this along as quickly as possible. So there's no delays.
Okay, well, let's get it going. Next item.
This would be me too. Do you want me to just go through?
Sure, go right. Might as well.
We've been asking about adding bathrooms on the water side. It's been mentioned that there's a design plan. Is that something that's going to happen? Are we looking to do it for this spring or?
So this is definitely a priority for the mayor. And the latest updates I have is that CRMC, we submitted the plans to them in October. They've reviewed it, and we just got the finalized plans approved last month, and now it's going through the process where it needs to be, if there are any objections from the public, there's a period of time, I think it's 30 to 60 days, that anyone can submit input. If there's no input submitted, then we're looking at around March, mid-March, to then send that out to bid. And then once people bid on the project, companies bid on the project, then we'll have an idea of what the final pricing will be. But it's going through the normal channels, normal process.
You say you had these plans since October. Have any of us been made privy?
So we submitted them for review, and
Okay.
for CRMC, Coastal Resources Management Council, they have a process of review that takes several months, and they finally approved it. So now,
Can I ask you what was approved? What kind of a facility?
Do you have a drawing you could share with us?
so it's going through the appeal process right now, and I can request Dan to send that over. But once the appeal process is done, then we can move forward by sending that.
Is someone
out to-
appealing? What's the appeal?
No, it's just typical process. Once the plans have been approved, there's an appeal period with CRMC, and if any members of the public appeal, that could delay it further. But if nothing gets appealed, then by March we should have final permitting.
So next Monday, we have a Ward 4 town hall meeting. Could I request those plans be transmitted to me so I can let people know? Because it sounds like you're putting the cart before the horse. You didn't talk to the public about what they feel, and now CRMC. And, you know, if people don't understand that CRMC, if you don't appeal to them, you're not going to hear it. So it'd be nice to have the public along for the ride on these projects.
I'll check with the
sometimes.
directors, see if we can get those plans.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Yes, Council Vice President.
question for Andre. We know how much money we have for this project because it's all opera money. We're not spending any of our money. I mean, this goes back to 2 chiefs of staffs ago who promised us we after we got done marching in the Memorial Day parade in 2024 that we'd be having clam cakes and chowder at that event. So we know we have a fixed amount of money, right? It's all opera money, correct?
I will have to check with our director of DPW to confirm that, but to my knowledge,
Am I wrong that that's an opera
Ah.
project?
Most
A
of
million?
it is
A million?
capital.
Yeah, but I mean, so we're still in that budget, that the opera money, and that's right, the capital budget
Combination of the.
combination. So we're still in that.
Yeah, we haven't gone beyond
We're
that.
not going beyond that, correct?
to my knowledge, no, but I can double check that with Director Borges and get a
'Cause
clear
if
answer
we go
on that.
50,000 over it, now it's going to delay the process because it has to come back in front of us. I don't want this project delayed anymore. mean, the
We're
people-
following
the
standard process.
The people of the city want. I want this project done. I don't want to lose any of the opera funding. I don't think
Yeah.
you want
No, we
to or
don't wanna
anybody.
lose
So that's my biggest concern is I don't want to lose any opera funding. Thank you.
Okay, next item.
All right. So
Yep.
I had mentioned, what else that? There we go. Last week I mentioned the City Council, we got our Veterans Advisory Committee. Our mission is to honor and advocate for veterans. As part of that, we are going to roll out a Hometown Heroes banner. Tori Jessup brought this to the table, and we all thought it was an awesome idea. This is, you'll see it in Barrington, Seekonk, other communities. But basically, we're going to roll out these. The form's ready. We'll start really pushing. Anybody interested, it will be $100 for the banner. There's a form you fill out. And basically, you're going to have the name of the veteran, when they served, and the branch that they were in. And I met with Dan Borges, and he was awesome. He said that we could put them up Riverside along the parade route. Rumford, he mentioned Roger Williams Ave, but if there's questions, we could see if there's others. Taunton Ave and Warren Ave. So folks on the form can choose if they want to be Rumford, Riverside, center of the city. And we are looking to hopefully get them up in May. So we're going to start a big push to let people be aware. They'll be on social media. I'll reach out to the media. Maybe somebody from the Reporter can write a nice story. And we'll get this going February 28th. It's a Saturday morning at 9 a.m. at Weaver Library. We're going to have a Veterans Coffee Hour. I will have the forms there. If people are interested in coming in and filling it out, if they, need some help or whatever. Not everybody's on the computers and stuff, so I want to let it be known that I will be out and about in the community at various things. And, anybody interested and want to honor a loved one, we'd be more than happy to have you join us. The coffee hour is at 9 a.m., Weaver Library. Our state reps will be there. There's some veterans that want to propose some legislative requests. As you know, with veterans, the big thing with us is our homeless vets that they need some of that transitional housing. Once we get them off the streets and before they can get into a permanent home, there's that missing piece, which is just not a veterans thing, but that's our focus in this group. So we will be advertising the Hometown Heroes banner, and hopefully anybody interested signs up. If anybody has questions, reach out to me. Frank Fogarty's on the Veterans Committee as well. Ward 4 Council at East Providence RI, or any of your council members, you can reach out to them, and they'll have access to all the info needed. And we're going to be working with the administration. I want to thank Andrea she put together the form and the design of the banner. She's awesome. And I want to publicly say thank you to her. And we look forward to having this nice addition to East Providence.
Thank you. Well done, Councilman. And the committee, please let them know. Next item.
Public hearings, ordinance for second and final passage for discussion and possible vote. Number 1, an ordinance amendment of Chapter 16 of Revised Ordinance of the City of East Providence, Rhode Island, 1998, as amended, entitled Taxation, adding Article 11, exemption for live workspace deed restricted properties, introduced by Council Vice President Rigo.
This is a public hearing. We'll start with the council. This is second passage. Do you want to add something?
Well, just to review again, this is second passage. This will come in handy as we redevelop existing property that might be in mixed use. And I would hope we start hitting, and this will help us hit the target audience of like turning these into affordable housing for people who might want to downsize. And this will help, and with the ownership, and it will also bring business in. We talk about building. Well, we have to also think about rehabbing a lot of the properties that are in the city right now that we can turn into mixed use. And this will also come into play, hopefully, when we start really ramping up the development along the waterfront. So I move passage again.
Okay, at this point, before the council votes, I'll open it up for public comment, as this is second and final passage. Is there anyone here that would like to comment for or against, or make any comments? Once again, is there anyone present who'd like to comment on this? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. We have a motion and a second. What is your favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it 4-0. Thank you, Council Vice President.
Number 2, an ordinance and amendment of Chapter 18 of the Revised Ordinances of the City of East Providence, Rhode Island, 1998, as amended, entitled Vehicles and Traffic. Section 18-307, entitled Parking Prohibited at All Times of Article 10, entitled Stopping, Standing, and Parking of Chapter 18 Dover Avenue West Side from Warren Avenue southerly for 250 feet. Section 2, Section 18307, entitled Parking Prohibited at All Times of Article 10, entitled Stopping, Standing, and Parking. Dover Avenue, East Sides from Warren Avenue southerly for 100 feet, introduced by Councilman Fogarty.
Thank you. Move passage.
Second.
Madam Clerk, is this also public hearing? Yes, for second passage. So
And I just got one question. The section 1 is the west end southerly, and then the second part is east.
East Sides.
Is 100 feet all you need?
Yes. For these.
The first one says 250 feet.
Yeah, it's the other side.
All right. Just want to make sure you get what you need, buddy.
other comments from the council at this point? If not, I'll open it up to the public hearing. Anyone here that'd like to speak for or against this or make any comments in general? One more time, anyone here that would like to comment? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. We have the motion in the second. Did you get those, Madam Clerk? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you for the work, Councilman Fogarty. Next item.
Continued business show cause hearing update from meeting of February 3rd, 2026. All requirements for issuance of licenses have been completed by the following businesses. Assistant Attorney Joel,
Assistant Solicitor.
Solicitor, sorry.
I'll take this. I was here for that meeting. These were all the business licenses that were heard for show cause on February 3rd. Number one, the Brazilian Family Market. The fire inspection was completed and the license was issued on February 5th. Popeye's Restaurant, 40 Newport Avenue, they were here earlier tonight. They still have the license renewal payment is pending. To confirm, there's
Yeah, I understand the payment is in, but we're just confirming the paperwork, so we can include them as in anticipation that, it'll be
yeah, we expect
passed.
that to be.
Right, and if it isn't, then it won't fly.
Number three, Jeff's Pizza, 27 Waterman Avenue. Both their building and fire inspections were completed. The license fee was paid, and their license was issued on February 5th.
Okay.
So as far as we know now, are all business licenses and required documents completed this year? We know we had several who were late, but
I think as soon as we clear up
Pretty
Popeyes,
well.
I think everything will be done.
in good shape, okay. So we would need, there's no motion required, right?
It was
Just a report, an update.
Mhm.
Thank you. So they're all
Everybody's
set.
caught up now.
Everyone's caught up.
And next year, a little less lenient. We'll be a little more forceful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we did indicate at our last meeting that, next year, we're not going to wait 4 or 5 months beyond.
It's not fair to the clerk's office to have to keep
Right.
sending reminders and stuff. So
Next item, continued business.
New business, Mayor Communications, Director of Policy and Constituent Services, Andre Herrera.
Thank you, Andre. Proceed.
Good evening, City Council. Appointment, reappointment requiring council confirmation. We have the appointment of Shannon Massarocco to the Juvenile Hearing Board for a 3-year term, effective February 17th, 2026 to February 16th, 2029. And do you want me to go through?
I'll make a motion to approve.
second.
Motion by Councilman Fogarty to approve, seconded by Councilman Lawson. This is in the case of Shannon Mazzaracco. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Next, we have the appointment of Sandra Ferrand to the Juvenile Hearing Board for a 3-year term, effective February 17th, 2026 to February 16th, 2029.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Sandra Ferran by Councilman Lawson, Council Vice President Rego. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
And we have next the appointment of Kendall Martez to the Juvenile Hearing Board for a 3-year term effective February 17th, 2026 to February 16th, 2029.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion to approve by Councilman Lawson, seconded by Council Vice President Rego. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Next, we have the appointment of Jason Rafferty to the Juvenile Hearing Board for a 3-year term effective February 17th, 2026 through February 16th, 2029.
Make a motion to approve?
Motion to approve by Councilman Lawson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Fogarty. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Next, we have the appointment of Sandra Gauthier to the Juvenile Hearing Board for a 3-year term effective February 17th, 2026 to February 16th, 2029.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion to approve by Councilman Lawson, seconded by Council VP Rego. All in favor? Any opposed? The ayes have it.
And next, we have the appointment of Patricia Resendi to the Planning Board for a 5-year term effective January 16th, 2025 to January 15th, 2030.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilman Fogarty,
Second.
second by Council Vice President Rego. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
And the motion carries 3-1.
Next, we have appointment, reappointment not requiring council confirmation. There are none. And then next, we have items for announcement and discussion. Proclamation honoring Chief Economic Planner Jim Moran upon his retirement after nearly 35 years of dedicated service to the city of East Providence.
Good luck, Jim.
Well, there's certainly no vote needed there. We appreciate the proclamation.
Congratulations.
I think we've all been in touch with him, and some of us were able to swing by his farewell ceremony. And he, as I stated at that time, he has done his work quietly and efficiently, and staying in the background but getting things done. So we wish him well. Thank you.
And I want to invite everyone to our annual Black History Month celebration on Wednesday, February 25th at 11:30 a.m. in the council chambers. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. I know I will try to come. Sometimes the daytime is not good time to appear, but
Try my best. It's the last week of the month.
yeah, those of us working, but that's certainly Black Heritage Month is one of the major celebrations that I certainly support. So much history is involved, and East Providence is proud to be there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief.
Resolutions for discussion and possible vote. Resolution authorizing the mayor to purchase turnout gear for the upcoming 37th Fire Training Academy, introduced by Vice President Rego.
Yes, sir. Continue.
Yes, Mr. President. Thank you. Obviously, this is important as we continue to add another firefighter class so that we can get the number up. This will hopefully help us to increase our rescue service as we maintain the proper numbers and get to that number where we can have a fourth full-time rescue, as well as maintaining the great service that the city provides and the firefighters, men and women, provide to the citizens of the city. So I move passage, and congratulations to
Second.
the 37th class.
Motion by Council Vice President Rego, seconded by Councilman Fogarty. This continues along with the fact that the East Providence Fire Department was the first in the nation to get the, I forget the official name of the gear.
FAS.
FAS,
PF.
PFAS, the cancer fighting equipment that was so important, and we were leaders in the nation to do that. So we do have a motion and a second for this. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you for bringing that forward.
Number 2, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Pear Corporation for engineering and athletic design services for Pierce Memorial Stadium improvements, introduced by Council President Rodrick, Council Vice President Rego, and Councilman Fogarty.
Mr. President?
Yes, Council Vice President.
This has been on the drawing board since we took council, took office in 2023. It's finally coming to fruition. The things that I'm very happy about is that it's going to repair the walking track and a track so that our middle school program, as well as the good youth track program that has been started in the city, has a home. And on top of that, for the people for the middle schools again, and for the youth track program, that every so often when we ask for something, it happens. We're going to have the jump pit and the throwing pit down at Pierce Stadium. So that will only help the boys and girls of middle school age and the program. That it's just a good thing. It's nice and added that they'll have a full array of track and field that they need. So,
And this is funded by grants and recreational funding. It's not a budget line item. And I think there's a lot of room to do this now. We're not going to do the turfing of the field. We're going to keep the natural grass, which is appropriate for the use. And I know she's not here tonight. Also, Councilwoman Souza joins us in this. She's been advocating for the same thing we all have with the track and other facilities. So Pierce Stadium is used very, very much, even though the high school isn't there per se. It's used almost daily with the entire complex, and we need to keep it up.
and I also would like to make another point in regards to this remodel of Pierce that's very important. And you see it a lot, obviously, at graduations that we attend, as well as the 4th of July event that the city put on. But it's going to be more handicap accessible, and that's something that is very important. So these improvements will make it more user friendly for all those involved.
That's a good point. I know you and I met with the mayor recently and went over this plan, and he did stress that lower end near the concession stand, which is kind of a large grassy area, which will be made handicapped accessible now for people to get down into the stadium instead of using that ramp where if no one's holding on to you, you're going to just go. So Pierce is still the great complex that it always has been, and it's going to get better. So that was a motion, and did you get the second in motions?
Second.
I made the motion.
Motion was made by Council
We all
Rego,
seconded it.
and everyone on the dais seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Nice job.
Motion to adjourn is in order. Councilman. What's that? No. Motion to adjourn is seconded by Councilman Fogarty. Motion by Council Vice President Rego.